guys, I'm Eileen Hull and I am here with some embossing powders and my ColorBox Blends inks. These are the re-inkers. You could use the other type too. These would be the original, the Blends inks, but I decided that I get maybe a little bit more control using my re-inkers. I also have some of the styluses. These are available through Clearsnap, or I have them in my Etsy store if you're interested. So I want to show you how I made these beautiful, gorgeous embossed shells. I started with a container, a little bag of shells from Dollar General, and this one does seem to have a little color, but most of them don't. So they're probably bleached. I'm not sure what they did to them to process them. But then I added color using my inks and then adding this really cool shininess with my embossing powders from Emerald Creek. So I just thought I would do a quick video and show you kind of how I came up with some of these different effects. This one here, I used, what color? That was golden and melon. I put those on and kind of sponged them on with my stylus. And then I started adding layers of the embossing powder. I used glistening glass, which is the clear. I used some white and some gold. Actually, I double layered the gold and the white, which gave kind of this, not marbly, but I don't know what you would call that, almost a crackle look. And then I also took my stylus and added some ink right around the edges here, so it's kind of edged in the gold, and I do like that look. This one here was very simple. I just inked it with color and then I added clear. And if you can see, I really like how they're like little beads of the ink, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but it almost looks like water drops on it. So I like that one a lot. These would go really fast. The more you add layers of the powder, you know, the longer it takes. But I think, like on this one, I think it's totally worth it. These are, let's see, I used this Wildberry and Tutu to get the color on there. Then I added gold, and I just kind of dropped it on here, and I'll do one to show you. And then I added white, the White Wonder, and also some of my favorite, the Aqua Splash. Just a tiny bit, but that's all you need. You really don't need a lot. So I think these came out really cool. This one I used the pansy and silver ink, and then I put silver powder on top, the silver polish, and also some white and the Aqua Splash. So they're very subtle, and I think they look really beachy. Then I got a little crazy, and this one I totally covered with gold powder, and then I added white and some of the Aqua Splash on top, and I like how that one came out too. It doesn't have the details, you know, like the ridges that the other ones have. You can kind of tell it's underneath, but it would just depend on what kind of effect you were going for. But let me go ahead. Yeah, this one I pretty much covered too. This one I did in light pinks. I think I did pink and clear. I did tutu and clear. So there was not a lot of color on here, which I liked. But then I added some silver and I dropped it in the container, and I got a little more than I thought, but it was still okay. Then I just added some white and some Aqua Splash on top of that. So there's really no way you can mess these up. And I had this kind of little arrangement I was going to put them in. This is some sand that I got when I was on one of my paper trail trips out to the White Sands Missile Base, and I brought a bag back. I probably wasn't supposed to. This is the Adirondack chair die, and so I had made this in a Facebook Live a little while ago. And also this is the beach cottage or beach house, shabby beach house. I can't remember what I called it, but we had made this on Facebook Live a couple weeks ago. So I just realized all of this beach stuff that I'm doing, and I don't know, it's fun. So I'm going to keep going with it. So let me show you how just to do one. It's really not hard. And let's do one that's a pretty good size. Let's do this one. So first thing is you have to figure out what color do you want to make this. So we've done a lot of different colors. but I'm kind of liking the bay and the beach colors, of course. So I'm going to use my stylus that has the bay on it, and I'm going to do my light color first, and then I'll probably use the same stylus for the second color. And you see how little I'm dropping out. You really don't need much at all. These are 1 fluid ounce of ink. That is going to last you a long, long time. So let's just drop these out. And then possibly we might want to streak it with some gold. Let's try that. So let's dot some of this out too, just in case. Sorry, I've got a little cold here. I don't know why, because it's like 100 degrees out. Okay, so let's take the stylus, and you can see I've used some other colors on here. That really doesn't matter. I can just wipe this off with a baby wipe or a wet wipe, or whatever. I use one of these little, you can just wipe that off and it'll go right back to the regular color. So I'm just going to go and kind of dot that around in there. And then I will come back and use this after to kind of adjust my blend. So there we have, that's our basic color. And you could add a little bit of water if you wanted. That would probably make it a little more watercolory. But it's all very up to you, however you want to do it. I like to blend the colors together, so you could either do that by adding some clear ink or white maybe, or coconut, whatever. But I'm just going to kind of blend out these colors using my stylus because it works just as well. So the next thing that we're going to have to decide is what do we want to put on this? Do we want to use like a clear coat? We did that last time, so I'm thinking maybe this time let's do some gold on here. I think that'll look really rich. So I'm going to take my coffee filter, and I'm going to take my goldenrod embossing powder from Emerald Creek, and I just think this color adds rich beauty to anything. We're using our Molten Dimensions, which are, as you can see, they're pretty chunky, and so when they sit on this, they're going to be irregular and kind of lumpy and really cool looking. So I think what I might want to do for this is just kind of do a little piece around the edge to start. So I'm going to dump some in here, and let's get, now I'm working with tweezers for a couple reasons. I don't want to, when we start heating this, it gets really hot, so I don't want to mess with getting my hands burnt or anything like that. Now, I'm just thinking, maybe I'm just going to take some of this and kind of drizzle it over, and then we'll leave that off, and we might want to add some more in a minute. So let's just set this, oh, I'm not going to set it down, I'm just going to hold on to that, and I'm going to turn on my embossing, my heat gun. I'm putting it over to the side just to let it heat up a little bit. It's good to come at it with fairly, warmed up heat, and it will just help it to emboss sooner, and it won't blow the powder around as much because it's kind of blowing right on it, and it's hot, and it's sticking it to it kind of right away. I don't know how this is going to work because I'm right-handed, and I don't want to burn my hand up, but trying to see if you can see that. Starting to go. And you can wait until this is molten like lava all together, in like a stream, or you can just kind of melt these little particles and let them sit there. And I like how that looks because it's almost like an oyster or some kind of little sea creature that, has a pearl maybe, that has irregular shapes, and I actually love it just like this, but let's just see what else we might want to do here. Now, if I wanted to add something really fast while it's hot, I could dump that on there. I was thinking this Aqua Splash, but I'm not sure that's going to even show up because it's pretty much the same color, but it won't hurt to show a little bit, or to add a little bit on there. So let's just see what happens. I don't think it's, yeah, see, it's kind of covering up the gold. So what we could do is we could tap it off Let's tap, see if anything goes off. It's not really, but it's not going to hurt it to heat this up because it's just kind of going to blend with what's already on there. So let's melt that. And then what we can do is put some clear or white maybe, might be cool, on there to kind of bring out a little bit of light on there. I think the white is really cool. I've been adding that. It's called White Wonder, and I've been adding that the last couple shells, and I'm liking how that looks. So you might say, what do you do with these things? Well, I was thinking about that, and I'm not sure. I just like looking at them, and I really like making them. So let's get some of the White Wonder out here. And it really doesn't matter what color we use, because we're going to cover that. Whatever is wet is going to stick to whatever color powder. We could add some gold, but I really think there's enough on there already. So let's see where let's use our, I think this is clear, but I'm not sure. Let's squeeze out some clear. Okay, so let's just add that maybe around the edges at the bottom. That might be kind of cool. Look like really kind of streaky and random. And we can add white there. And then you'll just see what it looks like. We could just even sprinkle that on and use this to catch the extra. I think I'm going to like that white. Yeah, that's cool. All right. I like it. You never know, but if you don't like it, you just add another layer, so not a problem. So I'm just going to emboss this, and then I think I might be done. I like this. So what I was talking about before, what do you do with it? Well, you could make jewelry. I did a Facebook Live yesterday from the beach with my friends Susie and Karen, and I had one that I had done there, and we were talking about that. And you could put a bail, which is like a little hanger. I like that a lot, and I'm going to stop where I'm at right now. So now I will say this stuff gets really, really hot. So don't touch this for a while. I mean like a minute. I don't know what it is. This stuff, the material from the shell is dense, and it's going to retain its heat for a long time. But what, you know, which is fine as long as you know, don't pick it up. But what I was thinking was, yeah, if you put a little bail up here, you know, you could use that as a pendant. It kind of sticks out a lot, but there are, you know, you have to go through and look at these little shapes and see which ones would fit and work best for you. But you might want to just make a little arrangement like this and have that sitting out on your table, and you know, just remember your trip to the beach. I was also thinking that it would be cool to put a photo in there, and it's kind of inspired by a project by a friend of mine, Lisa Hole, who's on my team, and she had made a little arrangement like that. So get inspiration from your friends or Pinterest or wherever you go, and basically that's how you make it. Now I'll tell you, it's still hot, but not unmanageable. So isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And you know what? A lot of times you just make things for the joy of it, so go with it. You know, if you like it, make it. And then let me know what you do with it. Put it on my Facebook page or respond in the comments. I'm probably going to post this in YouTube, so let me know what you would do with these shells. It's really fun. If nothing else, just make some and have fun making them. All right? Well, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right? Bye.